What's up guys, welcome back to the next video on learning C++. My name is QTSDani and you guys watching my channel CorioWood. Alright, so far in the previous video we have, if you guys notice, we started functions and we explained to you guys functions, and if you guys notice in the last videos we are using void and we are not using the return statement, this guy here. Alright, so in this video now we're going to introduce you guys return. So if you see this one's, it's got a return 0. Alright, so in C++, in Java or every object-oriented C family of programs, the function revolves around the return. So the only time you guys don't put a return is when you guys using void. Other than that, you guys need to put the return type. So this return type, a function can return to the main program is scalar, a character or a string by means of return statement. This is a very simple definition of return statement. So if you guys notice here, it's got an int and it's return 0, but you guys can put a double, but you guys need to return a double. So I'm going to explain to you guys very shortly a function definition and a function prototype. If you guys noticed, we have already used a prototype. So you guys can actually put your functions here. So if you guys got a say int, or if you guys got a void hello, you guys can do like this too. Okay, it looks like I got a typo there. So you guys can put you void hello. So, and for the C++, because you guys got a lot of functions, you guys just can't put all your functions before the main. So C++ created a unique way of you guys just put your prototype. So you guys can do it like this, and you guys can put your functions after the main. So as soon as C++ compiler comes in and looks at this one, says okay, void hello, and you guys can call your function here, call function, or invoke function. You guys can call function, but unless you guys don't put this one, the prototype here, the C++ won't understand this one, so it makes no sense to C++. It's not going to execute. And I'm going to tell you guys, C++ reads line by line here, whatever is you guys put in the main. And because in this video we're going to put a return type, so I'm going to introduce you guys to the return type so you guys won't forget. Alright, so I'm going to comment here and one here, and okay, so I'm gonna put here and I'm gonna finish here. Alright, so function definition. What is function definition? When you guys write a function, you're formally creating a function definition, okay, and each definition begins with a header line that includes a parameter list. So you guys look at here, we already show you guys about the parameter list in the previous video. What does a parameter list? If any enclosed in parentheses and ends with a closing brace of that terminates the function body. So the parentheses are required whether or not function uses any parameters. So you guys using this one, so this is convention in C++, you guys need to put a parenthesis around your functions, and a function begins, if you guys notice, we use parentheses all the time. Alright, so what's the whole map of this? I'm going to tell you guys. The first one here is a return data type, and the second one here is a function name. These guys here are parameter list, and the body of the function, which the block of the function here, where you guys can put your constants or variable or statements, and here is returns the value. So the return type, put a long story short, so you guys can put a return data type, and after that it's going to be function name, and you guys need to put a parenthesis with this curly braces here. You guys have to put these curly braces to start the body of the function. So we're coming all the way here, we're closing here. Alright, so the first one is return data type, which in the main is int, and it's got a function name which is main, and inside the parentheses is parameter list. Alright, so and inside the parentheses you guys need to put your parameter list, and inside this You guys look at here, I open squiggly brackets open and it's closing. This is the body of the function, this is the head of the function, and inside this is a block. And you guys need to put your all your declarations. So you guys got in the previous video we guys show you how to put your constant. You guys can put declaration. Okay, and then after that you guys can put your variable declaration statements. So you guys can put variables, our statements. All right, so when this one's finished, if you guys your return type is not a void, so I'm telling you guys, if you guys got a void, you don't need to put a return. Other than that, you guys need to put a return type. So your return type must match your here. So, and in the case of main, if you guys look at here, it says int, and it's returning a integer. It's not returning double or float or anything else, but returning 0, which is int. So this two is matching. You guys need to put your return here. And C++ revolves around a return function with the return type. So any function must return anything, something, unless you guys declare it as a void. So why you guys need a void? There's a lot of functions you don't need. Say if you guys say hello to someone, say hello, and then the person replies to you hello. So it means that you guys expecting that person to return say something to you guys. They say how are you, and then you expect the person to return something to you as a statement and say I'm fine, thank you, or in any other language. The structure of the language defines that the second person must return something. So it's exactly, the functions work exactly the same as a humans. So it must return something other than that. So if you guys want to tell something to someone about the news, and say this is a train, or sometime you guys say, but you guys not expecting any return time from the listener. So the C++ works exactly like that. So if you guys building say want to tell the computer about the lines or about the anything else, say if you guys while building a game, character 1 or character 2, so void line, and you just want to know that, let the C++ know that you just mean line, you don't want any return type. So by all means you guys can declare hundreds and thousands of these, provided you guys put your prototype here. And I'm going to remove this, so your prototype. Otherwise, if you guys don't want your prototype, and then you guys needs to put this guy here on top. You guys can do that. You guys can put this one top. Sometimes from time to time you guys see this one, the whole function sits here. And after, if you do this, if you put your function here, you guys then don't need your prototype. But if your function comes in after main, you guys need to put your prototype. Alright, so in this video we're gonna put we're gonna build two functions. First of all, we're gonna put a pi, if you guys know the pi, and then we're gonna show that's because that's a very simple example that returns a pi number. And the second one, we're gonna see the comparison operators. If you guys already know the comparison operator, what comparison operator is. So you say if you guys can put a here double boolean, you guys can put a string, you guys can put anything you guys like. So I'm going to give you guys two examples. So the first one, we're going to put a return pi, which is very famous. If you guys know the pi, we're going to create a function pi, and you guys know the pi is 3.14. I know it's a very long number one, but we're gonna say the convention is you guys write like this. You guys don't need to write all the numbers. I know it's a very long number pi, but you guys don't need to, all you guys need to do is 3.14157. So that's very easy. So if you guys can put a simple program to return your pi, or return your statement, or return anything. You guys can put it, say you guys want to add two numbers or multiply two numbers, you guys can put int a or int b. So I don't want to put a parameter in this one, I just want to put a double, because pi is double. And if you guys know this one is double, say you guys can put either pi or my pi. Okay, all right, so my pi, and I'm gonna tell this one double pi is equal to 3.14157. Okay, so now we're gonna put a return because we want to return this one, return pi. So if you guys notice here, our pi, this is our pi, and we are returning the pi. So now we're gonna call our function, and first of all, as I said to you guys put a double my pi. You guys can put your double my pi in a prototype, and here in the function you guys can call your pi, so you guys can say double. Here now we gonna wanna call this one function, so we create another variable here, so I'm gonna put the main pi, and I'm gonna assign this double to main pi, so it says my pi, and you guys need to put your parentheses around, and now we're gonna see out that one. The value of pi is and you guys can put that one main pi, and you guys can put your endl, and you guys gotta return 0. Alright, so I'm gonna repeat you guys again. We have created that my pi function, which we have declared as a prototype here. We already done our declaration. I said if you guys don't want to put this one, so you guys can move your entire function here on top, but you guys don't want to declare this one here. And the difference between this video is that in the previous video we have used a void, and in this video we are not using void because we are using double. And if you guys notice here, the main function is using int and returning integer, and because we are not returning int, so as I said, we are not returning integer, we are returning double. So what is our double? Double is our pi here, so 3.14157, and we're returning this one pi. You guys can return true or false, you guys can return anything, and we're going to discuss that in the next videos, in the future videos. Alright, so here we are creating another variable here, main pi, and we are assigning our function, which is my pi, and we are outputting this function, and this is endl. Okay, so now we're gonna build our project, and we're gonna return our project. Alright, so it looks like we have no problem. Okay, so if you guys notice here, the value of the pi is 3.14157, so that's exactly here. If you guys notice here, we are returning this one, we are returning the pi, which is this number here. Alright, so I'm going to repeat you guys again. We have what just happened. What happened is that we created my function double my pi, we have declared here, and here we have assigned my pi to main pi, and this main pi is just made up. I made it up. You guys can put a CorioWood, as Danny pi, any pi. You guys just can put a pp. You guys can put a xyz. You guys can put anything. This is just made up by myself. So don't assume this is main. This is some alien function. No, don't be intimidated by this. This is just, you guys can make up anything. Your pi, my pi, x pi, y pi, a pi, anything pi, as long as you guys remember that this is a pi function and returning this value, by all means you guys can put anything, any name here. Alright, so after this pi we're gonna build our second function, which we're gonna return two values. So this time we're gonna have a parameter, so we're gonna do return params. You guys can put a params as well. So this time we have an int, And if you guys want to put a highest number or lowest number, the easiest one is if you guys max number. So if you guys max num, you guys can put your max num, and if you guys put your parameters here, so I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna have int. So if you guys wanna put two values, so if you guys can put a int 1 or int 2, int value 1 or value 2, int x, or if you guys put an int y, now you got int value. So this is our value 1, this is our value 2, and we put an int answer, int total or int answer. Okay, we put an int answer. Alright, so we put a if we evaluate two numbers, which is x and y, x is greater than y, we put an answer is equal to x. Alright, and then we put an else. You guys already know else. We put an answer is equal to y, and at the bottom we're going to return the answer. Alright, so now we have a function which is returning int. It's a data type. Return data type is int. It's a max number. We've got a two parameter, int x, int y, and if you guys notice on top, we don't have any parameter list. We have a two parameter list here, and this is our answer. We declared our answer here. You guys can put a total, you guys can put an end answer, whatever you guys like. And if you have a value 1 which is x, and we have a value 2 which is y, we have already on our parameter list, we are already know, so the C++ already aware that we have a parameter list of x and y. The answer is x, and then otherwise the answer is y. So alright, so we move ahead, and as I explained to you guys needs to declare your function, and we here at the prototype, so we're going to declare our function which is int max number, and if you guys see here is int x and is int y. Alright, so now if you guys look at here, this our prototype matches this one. It's exactly like that. So it's max num int x and int y, and if you guys look at here at our prototype, it's exactly matching our function. Alright, so we're gonna come here and we're gonna put a line cout, and we're gonna put a line here to distinguish the first function our second one. So if you guys look at here, we're gonna run, our pi is gonna show up, our pi is showing our line is showing up, and our second function max num is not showing. Why is max num is not showing? This guy here is not showing anything because we are not calling it yet. We have to call it. If you guys look at here, the compiler is not complaining, C++ not complaining, we already declared it, but we have to call it here. Call the function. And if you guys look at here, we have called our function here because the way we called is we assign it to main pi, and at the bottom here we have to call it. So we want two values now. We want two values. Okay, so in our function here at the bottom, we have int x and int y, and both of them is unknown. We have answer and which is also unknown. So the answer now wants this x or y. Which one is greater than, we don't know yet because we haven't assigned anything. We haven't assigned a number. So we need to assign it here on top. So how are we going to assign this one? Alright, so we are going to do cout. Please enter value 1. Alright, and here I'm gonna put a next line. Alright, and now I'm gonna get the value from the user, so I'm gonna put a c in, and before that I need to declare one more value 1 because I want my value to get it from the user. So you guys, it's the best idea you guys declare it before you guys getting the value. So if you put a C in, you guys can put a value 1, because we want to store whatever you guys are getting from the user, the value, integer value, we're putting from the values. Notice I put an int because I have an int on top, int here. I don't want to get it double, but I want int. But if you guys want to get double, you guys need to put a double here. So, and I'm going to copy this to get a second value from the user. Okay, so value 1, value 2, and I'm going to come here, value 2, and I'm going to put a value 2 because I'm declaring. But if I run, I'm not going to get anything. All I'm getting is the value 1 and value 2 from the user. If you guys notice, okay, so enter value 1, I'm going to put a 12, enter value 2, I'm going to 13. That's it. I'm not getting anything. Why? Because I haven't called my function yet. I haven't called this engine, whatever I built here. I need to call it. So here now we have to call it, and we have to pass these two values inside our functions. So call function, and pass values. All right. So now I'm going to call my function, and I'm going to pass my values. So I'm going to, how are we going to call our function? So the first we declared another variable, and here if you guys look at here, answer, now we're going to call something else. So we're going to call total. Okay, now we're going to assign our function, which is max function. It's got two parameters here, int x and int y, two values here, and we're going to pass these two values in there. So we're going to put a total is equal to max num value 1 and value 2. All right, so now if you guys notice here we have we are calling this number max num, but we are passing these values here. This guy is here, this value 1 and this value 2, but C++ already copied this one to this one. So C++ knows now that value 1 is x and value y, value 2 is y. So you guys can put a value x, our value y is up to you, and we're gonna see out, and our C out we put at the maximum number is, and our maximum number we're going to output the total, and we put an endl. All right, so now we're going to run. All right, so what is the value 1? We're going to put a 20, which is x, and the value 2, which is y, and we're going to put a say 40. The maximum number is 40. If you guys notice here, the value 2, which is 40, the maximum number is 40. So the value 1 and value 2, because we evaluated the value here on our function, that's the engine here, if you guys notice. And this is also called encapsulation, because we're going to hide our data. This is the engine. This is the small block of code which evaluates the whatever the answer. If we have an int x and int y as a parameter, and we are returning the answer. Where is the answer? The answer is here. We declared. So if x is greater than y, and then we assign this x to answer, and then we assign to y to answer, and we returning this answer. Okay. On top, we have declared our prototype. Our prototype is max number int x and int y, and here now it's time for us to call our function, because we have a return data type as well there. If you guys look at here, we have a return answer, and if you look at here, I'm getting the value 1 from the user, and I'm declaring into value 1, and I'm gonna, you guys can put a x as well. Is have value x, our value x, our value whatever you guys want to put, So I'm gonna put 1 back. If you guys put a value 1 here, you guys need to put a value 1. So we're going to get 2 values from the user. All right, so that's a declaration for value 1, and we're getting the value 1 and it goes in the computer memory. Then we're getting value 2 and it's declare value 2. Then we declare assign this value to whatever we get from the user to this value. And here if we have another variable, it says in total, sorry, this is a variable, this is declaration. We are declaring total, and we assign our function which got a x and y. It's got assigning to this total. So this is a very good example if you guys want to know how to pass by value, because C++ normally passes all the numbers by value, is passed by value. So this is a very good example, but in the future videos we're going to practice a lot, so you guys going to be master soon in passing by value and passing by reference. And because this video is about return type, I'm just showing you guys how to return the values. If you guys look at here, and now the maximum number is, and we're returning this variable here, which is total. And even though we have value 1 and value 2 here, and in our function we have int x and int y. So but C++ copies this one to our function, so copies this one to this int x and int y. Alright, so I'm going to use this as a reference in a future video when we reach to the passing by value and passing by reference, so you guys at least have a good idea how to pass by value. But this video is about return type, and if you guys look at here, return type, and if you guys look at here, this is the return data type, is return int and int y. If you guys want to put a float, you guys need to put a float or boolean, and you guys need to put a boolean here. But you guys need to because we are doing in int, and because we are working with integer, not a float or double or boolean. So this is how we're gonna put it. The first one is return data type. This is a function number, is a parameter list. This is our declaration here. That's our evaluation, that's our return type here. We're returning the answer. And if you go on top, that's our function prototype here. We have int x and int y, and here we're getting 2 values from the user, and we have another declaring another variable here in total, and we are assigning this maxnum to variable total, and we are outputting this variable. Very simple, very easy. So I hope you guys got the concept of return type. And if you guys got any question or comment, leave it in the comment box. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye.